America was one of the pioneers of universal public education. We did this because we knew that we owed it to our children to ensure that they had the opportunity to pursue their dreams. The future that schools were preparing kids for used to be one in which finding a job and keeping it was relatively easy. Now students will need to prepare for an uncertain future filled with rapid change and numerous challenges that we can't predict. To get students ready for this world, they need to be fully engaged in their education. We need students who believe in the power of what they are doing because they see the value of it to their lives and the world. Students know this, teachers know this, but sometimes it doesn't always work out like we want it to. Here in Attleboro, we have made it our mission to engage, challenge, and inspire each and every one of us to reach our unique potential and improve the world. We took a look at how we're doing, both as a nation and just as our district, at engaging our students, and we solicited a number of opinions on what's working, what could be done a little better, and ways to improve. Here's what we found. Starting in elementary school, students find themselves gradually becoming less and less engaged, resulting in significantly less engagement by the time students are in high school. In this national survey conducted by Gallup, 3 out of every 4 students feel engaged in the 5th grade, but by the time they reach high school, only about 1 in every 3 feel engaged. We surveyed students from every grade in the Attleboro public school system, and our data mirrors this trend. Less than 20% of middle and high school students report being engaged because they believe in the value and purpose of the work, while over 80% report doing their work either for a positive outcome, like a good grade, or to avoid a negative one, like a phone call home.
Well, my favorite thing about school is when we have a test. I always pass a test.
My favorite thing right down over here is actually everything. School is pretty fun when you get used to it.
Like the teachers, like the way they engage on the topic and stuff. I feel like if they make it really exciting, then everyone's going to be excited about it, other than a teacher being boring about it.
I feel like when I read, it goes in one ear and comes out the other, and I don't really remember anything. But when you do it hands-on, you always have that memory.
I do all of my work, and I get everything done, and I make sure it's done on time and done well. But I only do that because I know I'll get a bad grade if I don't, and my teachers will be disappointed in me, my parents will be disappointed, I'll be disappointed. So I do it mostly for the reward rather than just actually doing the work to do the work.
Sometimes after doing the same thing every day, it gets more difficult to stay focused on my goals.
The question now is, what do we do about this problem? Well, we talked to a bunch of teachers to find out what they're already doing and found so many examples of things that teachers are trying to do to help make school more engaging.
So what do you do to try and engage your students?
So I try to offer as many opportunities for choice as possible. So like I said, those 3 things, whether that be content or method to learn or way to present. I also
use what's going on in their lives and what they're interested in to guide the topics that we study or the way we connect those things to the curriculum.
Do you feel like your students are the most engaged?
In lab. Whenever we're doing hands-on activities.
They see the why when they understand how it's connected to them and how it can benefit them or how it matters in their own life. They are really interested and they are really excited and they want to be a part of discovering new information and learning.
Every single one of them is doing something different because that is what they find engaging. I also find that grades tend to knock out students' engagement, so I also don't grade my students in a traditional manner. I rely more on feedback and reflection.
Give them interesting things to talk about. I try to apply the grammar to real-world situations, the vocabulary to real-world situations.
So we know we've got some work to do to help engage our students more, and we know that we have many teachers who are already making it a priority. But we also need to ask ourselves not just if what we're doing is engaging our students, but also whether it's preparing us for life after school. To help us figure this out, we wanted to consult an expert. Dr. Tony Wagner is a Harvard University education professor who has dedicated his life to improving schools. He's the author of many books and even helped create a film about school called Most Likely to Succeed. Here are his thoughts.
There is no longer a competitive advantage in knowing more than the person next to you because they're going to Google it and figure it out just in time. And so the whole idea that school should be about transmitting academic content knowledge primarily or even exclusively, we think is fundamentally obsolete.
That smart Harvard man is right. The world is changing. Content used to be the most important thing, but as that's increasingly available to everyone all the time, skills and engagement matter more. But just to make sure he wasn't lying to us, we went out into the community and talked to actual people with experience hiring in this modern economy.
What they're expecting is that we're going to get there and we're going to be able to figure out the problem and come up with a solution. So it's important to have people that can work with their hands, can make decisions, and don't actually have to have an instruction manual and can actually figure out what they want to do on their own.
Okay, so one of the things with all the resumes that we get here at Attleboro City Hall for numerous jobs is a lot of them have 4.0s, but that's not what's always important is their GPA. When I'm sitting down there and I'm talking to everybody who has a 4.0, I say what sets you apart from the others.
It's really important that they also can relate to students, so their interpersonal skills, their communication skills, both verbal and written, must be strong as well.
That's just a small sample, but trust us that our interviews confirmed what Dr. Wagner was saying. Having some expertise mattered, but it was often other skills and motivation that mattered most. And here's the thing. Students realize this and want to know how the work they're doing is relevant to the world and their lives.
Because the things that we learn, like in ELA, open responses, math, all these different things about math and so on and so forth, but like when you grow up, you might not have to do anything with that. And when you do get into like those major fields, then you might not have known exactly what you want to do, and all you're going to know is how to like write a format for a good argument essay instead of like fixing a car or something, you know?
I do a job that has nothing to do with that class. How is that work going to help me, and what's its benefit? My teachers, like, some of them will make an effort to say, like, I don't know how this connects to the real world. I'm supposed to be telling you how, but I don't know how. So if they don't even know how, then how am I supposed to know?
We know that improving engagement is going to be hard, but we also know that we can do it because what came up over and over again was how much kids liked their teachers because they knew that they cared about them and wanted their experiences to be valuable.
Or Miss Lindsay tells us interesting stories that we can take some of the ideas and put it on our writing work. I'm excited because I get to see like my teacher every day because she's really funny and nice.
She helped you a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Which teacher is that?
Miss Martin.
I like how the teachers are nice. I like how like they teach us different things and not just like one plain thing. Yeah.
My favorite teacher is Mrs. Robinson. I have her right now. And what I like about her is that she's really organized and easy to, like, she says everything very clearly, and then that's easier for me to learn.
I feel like throughout the school we just have amazing teachers. Like, they're also like chill, I guess I would say. Like Mr. Wells, you could mess up and he's just like, oh, it's all right, I can help you, like, do this through. And then Miss D. Simone has so many crazy ideas, and like she can help us relate to her, and she's not like one of those very strict teachers where you have to do like certain things, like you can't do this, you can't do that, and she like understands the fact that we need to visually learn something or physically learn it instead of just reading it. And she just, I don't know, she's just a really good teacher.
Especially in AP classes like English and history, there's an effort to connect things to outside world and like not just the past, but what's going to happen to us in the future and when we move on in life.
So if all of this is true, what do we need to focus on? What questions can teachers ask to help improve engagement? And why will doing this help students? Let's go back to Dr. Wagner one last time.
What is the academic content I want my students to master? How important is it? How do I know? What are the skills I'm teaching at the same time? How will I assess them? And finally, how do I develop the intrinsic motivation through play, passion, and purpose that ultimately is actually most important? Because if our students leave us intrinsically motivated, they will continuously acquire the new skills and the new content knowledge they will need throughout their lives.
So if what Dr. Wagner says is true, and it certainly appears so, then what does this mean for school? As we thought about this and how to end our movie, we realized that he's talking about us, your trusted filmmakers. We took on this project because we were passionate about it. We were motivated and engaged. We're not getting a grade for this. We're not getting paid for this. We're doing it because we believe in the value of it. And we want to help create a school district where every kid has the opportunity to have experiences like the ones we're having.
Throughout my school life, I have found teachers putting countless hours of their personal time into helping their students. I was motivated by this to make this project in order to give back to them.
The whole process of this film just shows how much of a difference engagement can make. When students understand what they're doing and why they're doing it, it makes all the difference for their attitude. That's really why I wanted to do this project, to showcase that aspect. I was motivated to create this film because of how much this topic means to me, and because I was aware of the positive impact it would have on our education system.
So just know that this year, as all of you focus on making learning experiences more relevant, that you'll be doing the most essential thing to increase student engagement. And if their experiences are anything like ours, you'll be empowering them both to do better in school, but also to be better prepared for life afterwards. And what could be more important than that?